Well, the hour alone today was certainly an interesting finding, or interesting happening to say the least. Um, I left my hotel about 5 o'clock with the plan of heading over to the shopping center and picking something up to eat. And that was going to be my hour alone. What I didn't remember, however, was that all restaurants close at 6 o'clock, basically. So I got over there, and I wasn't able to find anything to eat. Um, so I decided to kind of wing it and just walk straight until I found something to eat. I thought that I could hopefully find my way around Ma Street well enough to not totally get lost. Um, So after I had walked for probably about 15 minutes, I was getting a little nervous. I was getting a little worried because I didn't know really where I was. I didn't know any landmarks, or I couldn't see the hospital, or um, Mount Mordor, as I like to call it, in the distance. I finally saw some lights, and I decided to, check it out. So I went over there, and it ended up being this little Chinese place, which I was more than happy to eat at because I'm tired of sandwiches. So I went in, and it was really different, and I was already out of my comfort zone because I really didn't know where I was. I had no money, besides my credit card, which I wasn't sure if it was going to work. Um, so I decided to order anyway. Um, I was really at a disadvantage because I didn't speak Dutch, um, and they had no English menus. I was alone by myself, no Renee to help me translate. But I decided to kind of go for it and push myself further out of my comfort zone. Um, Instead of asking the waitress for help or for translations, I decided to pick some random thing on the menu, and whatever I picked, I would eat. No questions asked. So I picked something, and it ended up being some sort of beef with garlic sauce and broccoli and stuff, which I'm glad it wasn't squid or anything like that. But it was pretty good. But I picked it. I sat there and I ate by myself. It was a new experience. I don't think I've ever really sat down in a restaurant and ate by myself. I didn't have anybody to talk to, nothing to do. I just sat. So it was very different for me. I was somewhat kind of lost, and I didn't know how to speak in their language, the Dutch, or the second language that they spoke, which was, I believe, Chinese. So I finished eating. Thank goodness my card worked. And then I headed back home, which was nice because I finally knew. I kind of had gotten back my bearings and knew where I was going. This relates to my competencies in the way of adapting to change, and being able to convey my ideas clearly. Um, in the beginning, I had a plan. I was going to go to the shopping center. I was going to grab something to eat there, um, order in Dutch, hopefully, and come back, and that was going to be it. That didn't work out. I thought about giving up for a while. I thought about, just going back to the hotel and doing my hour alone, like sitting outside or something like that. But I decided not to. I decided to tough it out. Um, so I kept on walking, and I managed, when I got there, I did manage to order in Dutch, which I was really kind of proud of. It probably was terrible, and I spoke in a bad accent, but um, I guess that kind of connects to conveying my ideas, but, it's, I tried to do it, and I had ideas in my head, and that's sometimes half the battle, is trying to get those out to your own self as well. So I adapted to change well, I think. I probably could have handled it a little better, maybe ask somebody if there was a nearer place to grab some food, but I didn't want to, I didn't want to use that way out. But I feel like I did a good job today on my hour alone. I'd be interested to see if I could push myself a little further than eating alone and ordering in Dutch, because that's not epic, but it's a step in the right direction. And I'll also be interested to see if my other competency, working with coworkers, the ability to work with coworkers, I don't think will come up so much in my hour alone, as much as it will in groups, or when we're out in Maastricht by myself or by ourselves and stuff, which I think I've done a pretty good job, and we've done a pretty good job as a whole. But I'll be interested to see if that comes up again. But I thought that I adapted to change well today, and that I conveyed my ideas clearly as I could. So this is my vlog, and I hope to be able to improve on my competencies even more, and to do that I'll probably have to push myself even more out of my comfort zone. Thanks.